This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to their store and they'll know I sent you there. Before we jump into this Modern Horizons draft on Magic Online, I want to remind everyone that my content's sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their website by clicking on their logo below on Twitch and by clicking on their link in the description below on YouTube. They'll know I sent you there, and you should check them out because they have basically everything you could ever want Magic-wise and at good prices. So, all right, let's jump into this. It's probably Giver of Runes. Like, she's way better. I mean, I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with playing with Protection and with Mother of Runes especially probably don't realize how powerful this can be. You know, you can make a creature unblockable with it. You can save a creature from removal with it. She basically demands removal for herself. And if she doesn't get killed, she's just going to take over the game in a way that basically... I don't know, how many 1-drops are there that can take over a game in Limited? Not a lot, but it is one of those. And it's not like there's premium removal here. I do like Blizzard Strix, but if Giver of Runes wasn't here, what would I first pick? That's a good question. Might just be Settle Beyond Reality, as unexciting as that is, but we have the Giver, so we're going to take her. Protection, 2 things, is real good whenever you want. Too bad this white rare is not very good limited. Not in this limited format. She would have been sweet in a set like Dominaria. So, okay. The white cards here, probably not what I want to go after. I think it's pretty fun so far. Admittedly, this is only my 3rd draft. So, you know, it's hard to judge whether you should want to buy a whole box or 3 boxes or whatever, but so far I've liked it a lot. What do I like here? That is a good question. Probably Pondering Mage. I've been reasonably happy with it. Yeah, 5 mana for a 3/4 that draws you a card is great, and this is better than that, so I think that's where we go. White cards here. I mean, Ephemerate's good in the right deck, like the blue-white deck, for example. So we'll see if we end up there. There's a chance we do. Thank you for the follows. Okay, so Zhalfirin Decoy is pretty good. He does ask for a little more help than your average decoy effect, but I think he's still pretty good. Quakefoot Cyclops is too. The question is, do I like one more than the other? I think I might like it. I haven't gotten a chance to play with the decoy. Obviously, it's early in the format. I haven't played against it. It's hard to judge whether or not it's going to be good enough. But it and Giver of Runes together can mean some nasty stuff happening, that's for sure. The Cyclops is nice too, but I think I'm going to take the decoy here. There's also a Rocks Veteran, actually. I think I might actually like it more. I mean, it does push us in a more aggressive direction. I mean, they're both pretty aggressive. Most memorable and fun draft format. Yeah, we'll go with the decoy. It's a good question. Ooh, Mana War. Done. Easy peasy. I don't even need to look. No, I mean, I do, but not really. I mean, Igneous Elemental and String of Disappearances are good too, but Mana War is better. So now, Ephemerate is starting to get interesting because we have Pondering Mage and Mana War, plus Zhalfirin Decoy, who needs a creature to come into play to use his activated ability on your creature to come into play on your turn. And Ephemerate lets us do that. But there's also a Reprobation, and I think we should probably just take it. Yeah. But the blue-white deck is about blinking. Triple Cons of Tarkir is really fun. I think both of the first 2 Modern Masters sets were really memorable. I was a pretty big fan of... there's a Smiting Helix here. It's interesting. I was a pretty big fan of our return to Zendikar, whatever that was called. Battle for Zendikar? Yeah, this pack's strong. It has Magmatic Sinkhole and Smiting Helix. It also has some other things, but not really anything in the colors we already have. I think I like the Sinkhole a little more than the Smiting Helix. It's harder to get full value out of that, so yeah. They're both pretty good, though. I mean, you really want to be able to flash back Smiting Helix, at least have a shot at it. Would be good. So if we end up in red-white, that's like a straight-up aggro deck, so that's worth keeping in mind. And it looks like we might. So the Scour All Possibilities is a decent enough card. Impostor of the Six Pride's all right too. Viashino Sand Sprinter as well. Those are our real choices, I think, here. I think I'm going to go with the Impostor. Okay, so if we end up in red-white, yeah, it's also a sliver deck. And I think looking into that right now is probably better than our other options here. You know, Fountain of Ecor can help us splash, but I'm going to take the Cleaving Sliver. This is basically a sliver, so, I mean, it is a sliver. All right, so here's another sliver. Do we go all in on slivers? I mean, I like Quakefoot, but I think maybe we're going to be a sliver deck. This pack. So Venomous Changeling is a sliver, but I don't think we splashed or anything. Umazawa's Charm's all right. I think I'll take a Shelter. I don't know that we're going to run it, but okay. And then Rock's Veteran. Yeah, I think we're a red-white aggro deck now. I'll take a Segovian Angel. Looks like we're going in a sliver direction here. Looks like blue-white might be open, but in the end, I don't think it was. So Nature's Chance, a good sideboard card. Soul Strike Technique is an interesting aura because... Oh, God, I forgot I can't talk. I don't know why the timer does that in the later part of packs. Has it always done that? It doesn't seem like it has. And we could still end up being a blue-white deck, incidentally. Well, there's a... Yeah. Oh, boy. Okay. Easy enough here to take Sarah, one of the best bombs. She's in the top 3. I had a number 1 on my list, but I can see arguments for Miss Blade Shinobi and, what's it called? The Sword of Truth and Justice. I could... that's a good argument for either, I think, but we definitely take her. Not much to think about. Wouldn't mind Splicer's skill coming back. Okay, there's first Slivers chosen. Conifer Worm is a sweet snow build around. It's, I mean, I haven't played the format much, as most people haven't, but when I have seen it, it's been really good. Kind of leaning towards taking the Sliver. Our other options, you know, Ephemerate is all right, but it's not going to be as good as it was in our earlier deck. I think I'll take the Sliver. Just jam all the slivers we can. I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? Okay, here I'll probably take Quakefoot Cyclops. If you play him, he's great. If you cycle him, he's great. Yeah, so probably would have taken the Soul Strike Technique in that earlier pack that the timer really just cranked down on us. I'm going to put this over here for now. So sliver-wise, what are we looking at? Okay. No slivers here. Alpine Guide's interesting. I think he's obviously better in the land deck, the lands and graveyard deck, the red-green deck, but he's still pretty good. He helps you ramp a little for like a turn, but maybe we just take another Sinkhole. I think we do. Yeah. Where are all the slivers, you know? So Goblin Oriflamme is cool if we get to the point where we have enough, you know, go wide stuff happening. Probably just take Splicer's skill, though. It's pretty impressive. Like, worst case scenario, it's a 3-mana 3/3. Best case scenario, you can splice it onto something. Trustworthy Scout's a nice 2-drop, and it gets better in multiples, but, yeah, I think I take the skill. Ooh, Knight of Old Benalia is real good. For this kind of deck. Not a sliver, and we may end up just being a red-white aggro deck that has a little bit of sliver stuff going on. The problem is Cleaving Sliver and First Slivers Chosen are kind of crappy if you don't get more slivers. Enduring Sliver's fine on its own, but the other two we have not so much. Yeah, original Ravnica was a really good format. I'm with you there, Twilight Pony. Kind of forgot about it. So there's another Cleaving Sliver. There's also another Knight of Old Benalia, which I think is really key to this deck. Yeah, I think I'm going to take it. Sorry, Cleaving Sliver. I mean, there's a chance, but yeah, I mean, these two are both going to be on their way out if we don't pick up more slivers. I mean, yeah. We have a decent amount of cycling. I guess we only have like 3 cards with it right now, but like Astral Rift or whatever it's called. It used to be called Astral Slide. I don't remember what it's called here. Okay, so Martyr's Soul is decent enough. Universal Automaton, you know, technically a sliver, but, you know, whatever. Snow-covered plains, like, I don't think this is really worth taking outside of the snow deck, unless you pick up one of the rare snow build around, but which is a pretty sweet card. So another Segovian Angel. There's also a Goat Nap, which sideboard is probably worth being in the sideboard. Yeah, so the best card there is probably String of Disappearances, but obviously it's not where we are. Okay, so we'll take the Address. I kind of hope we don't play it, but could do worse. Yeah, I got Sarah. That is really sweet. Pack 2, pick 1. We're already deep into white. There's still a chance we end up in a different second color, I guess, but probably not. I mean, the Sinkholes, the Cyclops, they're pretty good reasons to be in red. Right now, I think these end up over there. Nope. I mean, it would be more fun maybe to have a more synergistic deck, but you're right. Having Sarah is, and Giver of Runes is pretty great. So, hard to complain, as you say. I think in the ideal scenario, I don't play Stirring Address. Thank you, Joe Akovo. Glad you enjoyed the content. All right, here we will take a Soul Strike Technique before time runs out. What I was saying about it earlier, no, I'll take a Trustworthy Scout too. What I was saying about it, or in another one. Multiples is good. Wow. It is. Magic Online's timer for the last couple picks is jacked up, man. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it is annoying. But anyhow, what I was trying to say is, and thank you for the follow. I think I unfortunately just missed your name, but thank you nonetheless. Ooh, really? You got all the white rares, man. But now that we have time, what I was saying is Soul Strike Technique is better than most auras because it does replace itself when the creature dies. So you have to wait. You have to wait until your opponent can't respond to you playing it. But once you have played it, your opponent can't really 2-for-1 you anymore, and that's always the problem with removal. But yeah, obviously it's an easy Winds of Abandon because we're opening all the white rares. Yeah, Battle Screech would be awesome. We could almost be a mono white deck, honestly. We could almost consider like cutting both of these and like running 2 Sinkholes and like, you know, 4 Mountains or something. We could definitely end up there. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so here's another Sliver, but I kind of feel like Slivers being really good is not going to happen anymore. Vigilant Changeling. We only have 1 Changeling at this point, which means it costs 2 white, but what are other... You've got 2 creature types. So do you. So do you. We have a lot of 2 creature type creatures, which does make it a little bit better. I think Mob, like if this were pack 1, pick 1, I think I would take Mob. Lancer Sliver at worst is a 3 mana 2/2 with First Strike. That's not too bad, but Trustworthy Scout is also really great in multiples. Yeah, we'll take the Scout, I think. The more the merrier. So here's the really sweet black snow build around. It only has a rare that's a snow payoff, but it's a good one. All right. One thing we don't have a ton of is removal, by the way, but You know, here's another cleaving sliver, but again, I don't think we're ending up there anymore. So Lava Dart, if we're only running like 4 mountains, which looks entirely possible, isn't going to be so good. Yeah, it has really cool art too. I'm with you. I like it a lot. Nature's Chant for the sideboard. We already have one of those. Goblin Oriflamme. How many creatures do we have? I guess we are at 14. We could consider taking it. I mean, if we see a ton of slivers here late, maybe we end up back in slivers. I don't know. Let's see if that happens. Okay. Well, we got really good fixing that can draw cards. We got a cycling land, which is good too. But as good as both those things are, I think Rock's Veteran is what our deck wants even more. Yeah. And I do think it's important to note that taking these early is not a bad idea. Lands that give you fixing, not fixing, but flood insurance are great. There aren't a lot of those in this world. Well. All right. I don't know how many more slivers I need to pick up over the next few packs to make it worth it to play them, but Cloud Shredder Sliver is really good. I'm not really sure we want a third Knight of Old Benalia, but maybe we do. I'm going to take the Sliver, though. Let's see what happens. Another Sinkhole, another Trustworthy Scout. Cycling land that's off color, unfortunately. Sinkhole does get worse in multiples because it's harder and harder to fill your graveyard. Trustworthy Scout does, I guess, have kind of a non-bow, by the way, in that it exiles itself. You know, we could use this to make all our creatures slivers, which would be kind of hilarious on some boards. But I'm going to take another Scout, I think. And another Scout. Maybe, yeah, it seems sort of like things are drying up for us here late. So Reckless Charge can be a pretty powerful way to get in for a ton of damage out of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, I think we're good on Trustworthy Scouts at this point. Let's take the charge. It may or may not make the cut. Okay, so here's a Goblin Oriflamme. There's also another Martyr's Soul and a Wall of 1,000 cuts, though. I think we want another Martyr's Soul. Do we want another Martyr's Soul? This is technically a changeling. Maybe we want Goblin Champion. This like mono white deck though is looking pretty it's looking pretty legit, you know. We need a few more playables. Our mana is going to be awesome, and we have 3 bombs pretty much. I mean, Giver of Runes might be a little further away, so I almost think it's just worth it to go mono white here. Here's a Lancer Sliver. A 3 mana 2/2 with first strike isn't terrible, but it's not going to be great in our deck either. I think we're just going to go with mono white. Pillage. Good memories of blowing up people's lands. Black Sliver. I think it's worth going mono white here. What we're giving up in red is not super impressive, although I guess we don't have a ton of removal if we completely cut the sinkholes. We should probably run both sinkholes. And about 4 mountains, like we said earlier. Yeah. So, you know, making Martyr's Soul work isn't going to be the easiest thing ever. I can probably cut Soul Strike Technique. I mean, I was saying it's better than most auras, but hey, it's still an aura. So, yeah. Segovian Angel isn't something I love, especially because our deck, I mean, we can pump it sometimes with Knight of Old Benalia, Rock's Veteran attacking, but we have 5 Trustworthy Scouts. Well, it's going to be wacky. Guess we'll see if it's worth it or if that's a little too slow. Worth testing, I think. So yeah, Enduring Sliver, Lancer Sliver. I think the Enduring one is pretty solid on its own. Lancer Sliver is too. I think they're comparable. I'm kind of leaning towards cutting the Angel. That said, we don't exactly have much flying going on in this deck, but I think we could probably still lose it. Yeah, so I think we run 4 mountains, basically, and yeah, so 4 mountains seems legit to me for 2 sinkholes. I mean, we could go a little lower just to be safe. 12-5, yeah. I mean, 12 is a ton for the primary color in our deck. So this will be interesting. We didn't really end up with like the synergistic sliver deck, but we do have very powerful cards and a really aggressive curve that tops out with ways of pumping our whole board, which, you know, that seems pretty good to me. So we'll see how this thing does. We could consider splashing Quakefoot too, because it is the kind of card that can just like break open a game with your, yeah, you know, I think we do want to splash a Quakefoot Cyclops. And then what do we cut? Maybe one of our 1 million scouts or one of our martyrs souls who aren't going to, these aren't going to be at their best in our deck. They're good, but they're not going to be at their best. We're not going to be able to consistently convoke him and not tap any lands. And we do have a lot of creatures, so it can happen, certainly. But we also want to be attacking a lot. So yeah, I think we can lose that. All right. Yeah, I think that's a good splash. All right. Going to be tricky deciding who to put on the thumbnail. It should probably be Sarah, because I'm probably not going to get her again. Red-white sliver is not worth it. We only have 3 slivers. And a 2-mana 1/1 with haste and flying, not actually that good. So, yeah, I'm not down with it. So the sweet thing to do, we don't have that many spells, but basically the only way we're going to splice Splicer's skill is onto something ridiculous like Winds of Abandon or like a 2-mana Magmatic Sinkhole. If we ever get to do either of those, it's going to be awesome. But again, it's also just a 3-mana 3/3, which is, you know, our deck just wants to curve out. That's all it asks for. And then kill you with, you know, one-sided board sweepers and stuff. I would like to play first. All right, I do think this is a keeper. I do feel like I went a little crazy on Trustworthy Scouts. We'll see how it goes, though. I mean, I actually think it's probably better in more controlling decks because you have the time to just keep grabbing these bodies, and it's not going to be as easy here. But it will sort of be like our plan B in the late game. Like, we need to go wide, and if we're flooding out, hey, we can pay 4 mana, essentially, to search our library for a scout and put it into play, which is perfectly reasonable. I need to remember about this clock, too, while we're at it. All right, so we do have a Sinkhole and Splicer skill. We're going to lead with the Imposter because it hits harder. Prismatic Vista. I was thinking that was the common land. It's not. It's the new fetch land. That's what those are called. God. It's hard to remember things sometimes. Might just be best to play Splicer's skill this turn, by the way. So I think we offer up a trade here. If we don't get it, we hit them for 3, so sounds pretty good to me, right? We are just going to Splicer's skill here. It's just our best move possible, so... Also put something in our graveyard for Sinkhole. So, obviously they're a snow deck. They may have the -X to all non-snow creatures. Dead of Winter, as we saw. Clever name. Lots of clever names in this set. See what they're playing here. Yeah, that's already pretty scary. Alright, I think we play our Rocks Veteran here. It sets us up for a good attack next turn, because we can tap down the Tree Folk. Sweet Golem art. So you're going to get even bigger and out of range of my magmatic sinkhole. Great. Yeah. Good news is, when we attack, we can tap down the tree folk and whatnot. It does mean our imposter just dies to Springbloom Druid, potentially. Well, yeah, it does. But that might be okay. This looks like a sweet snow deck, that's for sure. Oh. My poor golem. What did he ever do to you? Okay, yeah, we'll take 7. It's racing time, I guess. So, we can now sinkhole, but it's too late to kill him. That said, I think we're okay with that. I think we just attack here for 7. I could play Quakefoot. I think we hold off on that, though. I think we just go ahead and attack here. Tap down the Druid. 6. It's 6. So, I could play the Scout, or I could leave up Sinkhole. These are our options. I'm sort of leaning towards playing the Scout. It would allow us to swing next turn for 6. It allows us to swing for 9, which isn't quite lethal. So, but I can play. Yeah, I think we're gonna go the more aggressive route here. Hope they don't have a way to kill us, basically. Man, that Tree Folk is nasty in this deck. It's interesting they didn't put any snow hate cards in this format, like they have every other time. Well, I think maybe Cold Snap is the only time we saw snow creatures. I think original Ice Age had snow lands only. Could be wrong. All right, so we're going to take the 8. God, we can hit them for 9 out of nowhere here, but 9's not enough. Is my math wrong? I hope my math's wrong. 4, 6, it's not. We can only hit them for 9. Yeah, I mean, we can still only hit them for 9. That's frustrating. I think that just means we're dead. Finished 1 damage short of lethal. We can make it so none of these can block. 4, 6, 9. Yeah. But it doesn't matter because they'll be at 1 and they'll kill us on the backswing. So, yeah. Then on their turn, they can attack us for 10, 11, 13, 15, which is more than enough to kill us. The 7 toughness we have over here can either prevent 7 damage or it can prevent 6 damage, but it can't prevent enough for us not to die. So I think we just... yeah, even with Sinkhole, like, we can't get out of this. So yeah, we will concede. 1 damage short. That's always fun. Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. This looks solid to me. So I think we suspend our knight on turn 1, as him coming down on turn 5 is looking pretty decent to me. So yeah, we're gonna suspend him. I mean, we can't play him till turn 5 anyway, right? So him coming into play for only 1 mana instead of 5 in the long run is really good. So, yeah. Damn, turn 1 Ice Hide Golem, no problem. Alright, so I think we want to go to the races. I don't think we want to mess with Zhalfir and Decoy. I think we just want to try to kill our opponent with do as much damage early, get as many bodies in play as we can ahead of our knight coming into play. Hello, Tronalon. Opponent has a sweet snow deck. I don't know how many snow-covered lands they have, but it seems like a lot. And then the Tree Folk, of course, is ridiculous if you have as many snow lands as our opponent does. Yeah, we're a red-white aggro deck, essentially. We didn't even end up with much of a sliver theme, but we have a bunch of bombs. I didn't see them in Game 1, unfortunately, but we do have them. We have Sarah, Winds of Abandon, and Giver of Runes. They have to discard a card. I'm kind of okay with that. Okay, so do we just go for the attack here? I mean, it might suck a little ahead of our friend, the knight, but right now I don't have anything to do next turn anyway, so I may just exile this from my graveyard and get another one. Yeah, so let's attack. Oh, they are going to take it. That's even better, I think. I think it's a lot better. So, player Decoy. Yeah, they have a bunch of lands in their hand. Well, that is a little annoying that we don't have more going on ahead of him. We do get to play Quakefoot next turn. So, yeah, I think we attack with our Scout again. If they block, we just replace it with its own ability. We don't bother with Reprobation here or anything. Sounds pretty sweet, Tronalon. Well, that's annoying, as always. Okay. Man, he's out of range of Sinkhole again, which is not nice. We are going to play Quakefoot here. Make these both unable to block. Attack for 2, down to 13. So far, our deck does not seem to be firing on all cylinders. You know, we need to draw our bombs, I think. They would all be really helpful. Oh my god. That's frustrating. They hit us for 9 here now. Yeah. I'm going to have to put Reprobation on one of them. I guess the untapped one makes the most sense, right? Okay. So yeah, I think we put Reprobation here. Then the question is, do I attack with everything, or... I think to have the best chance here, we kind of have to. And then hope Splicer's skills, Golem token blocking is good enough. Yeah. We can actually take all eight here if we have to. They're probably going to play a snow permanent is the problem. Very sweet snow deck from our opponent. Yeah, there's a snow permanent. So now we have to block. I probably block the Golem. So we can at least kill it. Having sinkholes both times and then our opponent have their creature be out of range of it both times was not fun. Well, we can kill that, so this could get interesting. This could get really interesting, depending on what our opponent decides to do. If they're really aggressive here, we probably just win. If they're not, damn. They're not. They weren't really aggressive. I don't know why. We might still have a chance. Oh, that's great. Okay, so that was lucky. So if I tap this down and then attack with everything else, they can only block 2 creatures and they take lethal. Yeah, 4, 4, 5. We have 5 attackers. They can only block 2. If they block the 2 biggest, yeah, it's still lethal. Oh, wait, except you're not attacking, are you? Well, this might not be lethal. Playing Sinkhole may just have been the better move there because we could have killed the worm before it gets the ability to pump itself, and it has trample. So we'll have 4 attackers. They can block 2. No, yeah, it's still lethal. So we'll tap down the Tree Folk. Depends what they have in their hand, but we're going to go for it. We're dead next turn anyway, so... Oh, it's not lethal. They only take... yeah, they can go to 1. Yeah, that was stupid. Oh, actually, we're still in okay shape. Never mind. It's not stupid. We kill both of these, and then we can block the Tree Folk and survive. You know, provided they don't have removal or something. And they're at 1, so... And their Tree Folk just shrunk considerably. Okay, second guessed myself, but I think that was the right move. They're going to play the card that says -X to all non-snow creatures here. Their deck seems good enough to have that, doesn't it? I think it does. See, people talk about arena bots and not being great drafters, which is true. But you see decks like this sometimes in pod drafts, too, with real people. Because it just happens that a color pair's open. You know, we got there. A little bit of luck. And we didn't get one of our bombs. So we need to get Sarah or Winds of Abandon, ideally. Either of those... makes it pretty hard. Makes things go pretty well for us, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And Giver of Runes, too. I think she's just the 3rd best card in our deck. So Sinkholes haven't been great against this opponent. Like, I could consider just bringing something else in altogether, but... Yeah, I mean, I think they'll be useful at some point, you know. We just got to make sure to use it a little more quickly sometimes. Okay, this looks solid. Not as good as a hand where we get to suspend a turn 1 knight. But it looks decent. Yeah, well, there's Winds of Abandon. That's great news. Yeah, I think I played the Imposter here. Then Scout, then Rocks Veteran. So we do need to get to 6 mana with Winds of Abandon to be in great shape. Obviously, it can just remove other stuff too. We're just going to take 2. How is it that... what are they doing? Oh, ninjas. Crap. Definitely should have blocked. Should have kept ninjas in mind for sure. Because now I kind of have to just play another creature and block both of these. Which is not really what I want to be doing. Now they're going to play a Tree Folk and just like blow us out. Because if they play a Tree Folk here and make us tap down one of our creatures, we can't kill both of these. God. We need to get to Winds of Abandon mana now. That's really our only goal. Try as hard as we can to get to Winds of Abandon mana, which means we're going to have to start trading pretty aggressively. Because if we don't, we're going to die. So... okay. Rock's Veteran's actually a pretty great blocker against them. So hopefully we draw another land. We can maybe cycle Quakefoot Cyclops if we have to. The bad news about all of this is it's going to be difficult for us to have a good board presence here for to like really take advantage of Winds of Abandon. And that's pretty annoying, I think. Okay. Right, we're going to block one of these ninjas. Yeah, because our Rocks Veteran actually survives. We're at 6 now. I think we might just be dead. They turned into the aggro deck this time, didn't they? And we're not quite dead. We're going to be close, though. We have to cast this Quakefoot. Make both of those unable to block. Obviously enough we're not attacking. So we can Winds of Abandon next turn, but I think... yeah, this is the first time we've drawn one of those bombs, and our opponent got off to such a fast start this game that it's going to be really hard for us to come out ahead. They still have so many cards in their hand that even if we get to cast Winds of Abandon next turn, it's by no means guaranteed that we... and now I think we're just dead. Block. Yeah, we're dead. I mean, we can go ahead and try to block here just for fun. I guess it's actually better to block here. But yeah, it's still lethal. Yep. I mean, we won that second game, but... should have been... man, if I just blocked. If I blocked on turn 2... they made the right call. I mean, I think after the way the first 2 games went, it was clearly like, okay, I mean, I can out-damage you in the early game, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this hit and swing back, and, you know, later I'll cast Winds of Abandon and everything will be fine. Not going to get to cast my Winds of Abandon. No, I haven't played the Singleton event at all. I'm not especially interested. Though it is cool that they're testing out the new Mulligan rule, but, you know, I already trust that I mean, I only play limited, so in limited it's going to be good. Okay. See if we can do a little better here with these bombs. Let's just have like turn 1, you know, Mother of Ruins rip off Sarah, and then a Winds of Abandon late and just close out the game like that. That'd be great. Well, we are going to get to play... wow, well, we got 2 parts of what we wanted. So that's cool. Yeah, our podcast for this week should be out relatively soon. Yeah, Changeling Outcast is nasty with ninja stuff. Hopefully this opponent doesn't just run us over too. It's also pretty good against Sarah. It's actually really good against Sarah. That's kind of a problem. She'll come down and make an angel, but then he can just finish her off because he can't be blocked. Now, as much as we would love Sarah to just take over the game, chances are the best thing to do is going to be play Sarah, make a 4/4, and just let her die. I mean, that's often going to be the best thing to do. Are they going to ninja in the 2/3 ninja? Like right here, they are. Draw a card off of it. That's nasty. Oh, it's just that one. I'm less concerned about that one. Okay. I mean, it's still 2 mana 3/3, I guess, but let's see if we can get ourselves run over here. It's opponent's off to a good start. Oh god, all this unblockable damage makes Sarah really sad. Again, probably worth it to just play her. We could use Winds of Abandon to just kill this or whatever, but I don't think we want to do that at this point. We have time to get there this time, unlike our last game, where we just got demolished. I think we can double block Smoke Shaper here, though. I don't hate that plan. All right, well, can't block him. So I'm guessing another ninja comes into play. We just have to hope it's not Mistblade Shinobi, because that wouldn't be so good. Take 2 here. Do we just take 2 here? No. Is it the 6/3? No, but it's the one who makes a 1/1. Which is less than ideal. Opponent has a sweet ninja deck for sure. Okay. So. Sarah, I'm sorry, but I think the best thing to do here is going to be just make an angel and then you die. Which is not ideal, but a 4 mana 4/4 flying and vigilance, that's going to prevent 1 damage. There are worse things, for sure. All right, so we end our turn. You say goodbye to Sarah, who gave us a really great attacker in the meantime, so I can't be too upset about it. More unblockable, but we're 1 mana away from being really happy, I think. I think we want to play our Knight here, use up all our mana. We do really need to draw another land next turn. Or at least pretty badly we need to, because we've got 3 unblockable damage coming our way. So we need that land. If we get the land, I think we win. If we don't, there's a good chance we lose. Carrion Feeder is obviously a pretty big problem. It's a really obnoxious card. It's kind of bad with ninjas, potentially anyway. Although, I guess you can think of it as a creature that you can attack with, and your opponent's like, I can't block that, because you can sacrifice this, this, and this. So I guess it kind of works. You just don't want to be sacrificing things to it, like, right away. All right, so we go to 8 here. And there's probably a ninja coming our way, actually. Yeah. Okay, land, we need you. If we get you, I think we win. If we don't, I think we lose. I think that's... Their hand's empty. Please give me the land. Please. Thank you. Oh, man. All right, so cast with Overload. That should give us the game. They do get to search their library for a bunch of lands and thin out their deck, but they're in top deck mode, so... And then we swing for 10, so, you know. We did get Sarah and Winds of Abandon like we wanted. Look at all their lands. It's hilarious. Unfortunately, Winds of Abandon, while good, probably won't be quite as good in Game 2 because our opponent will be well aware of the fact that we have it. But it is hard to play around. All right, I don't think we really have anything to change. Wow, that's bad. Definitely have to mulligan. Our deck is almost all white, so 2 Mountain Hand with all our white cards is not where we want to be. All right, this looks decent. Yeah, I think I leave you on top. Yeah. We're on the draw. I think it makes it a little easier. We can sink some mana into our Enduring Sliver, too, which certainly won't hurt. Ransack the Lab. That's a cool card. Simple, but really cool design for this format where there's a bunch of graveyard decks. Well, now we don't really have a mana sink for next turn, so I think I'm actually just going to play the Imposter. It does get Outlast, actually, so that's kind of nice. Okay, well, we're definitely willing to go for the trade here. They're not, which isn't a huge surprise. All right, play our Enduring Sliver. Ninja Time, I think. Yeah, that one's sweet. It's a lot like Ninja of the Deep Hours, except sort of, yeah, sort of better. He's not monocolored, and that is kind of a problem, but yeah. All right, so I think we attack here and then play Rock's Veteran. Great because he can tap down blockers and, you know, pump our whole team at the same time. That's what makes him such a high quality common for a deck like this. It's like, you know, this kind of effect doesn't show up on commons in most. I don't think we'd. It's hard to imagine seeing both of these effects on a common creature. You know, we see the tap effect on common creatures. All right, we got there. And we didn't need a bomb in that last one. So as we prepare for match 3, which will be our last one here, chat, think about what you'd like to see after this. More War of the Spark, or War of the Spark, or some more of this. I would like to play first. Oh man, I think we can keep this. Could end up being a dangerous keep, but we can cycle the Cyclops in a pinch, actually. If we haven't hit like another white mana by turn 2, I probably do. Yeah. Being on the play with Sarah, like, you desperately want to get her in play and you be able to make an angel. Okay, we got it. So we don't necessarily need to cycle our guy, and I don't think we will. Another red-white deck. They're probably actually a sliver deck since they're playing this guy, who's really only worth it if you have a bunch of tribal bonuses. Okay, so yeah, I think we go ahead and play Martyr's Soul here. He's just going to be a lousy 3-2, but which, you know, isn't lousy. That's his sort of base level. It's a pretty reasonable base level. All right, so we go for it with Sarah now. Make an angel into our turn. See if she gets to stick around or not. Cave of Temptation. That's a cool use of a card, too. Ooh, that's not. Luckily, we can put Reprobation on him. Sarah's dead again, but I think we're kind of okay with that. She did her sort of base level thing, which is nice. So, how much mana do they have over there? They have 4 mana. He's currently at level 1. Yeah, so I think we let them pump more mana into it before we use Reprobation on it, basically, is my plan here. So I think we just cast... Yeah, we're going to cast Quakefoot here. Yeah. Make these two unable to block. Attack for 7. They don't have good blocks here, so yeah. Yeah, so we kind of want them to pump mana into Hex Drinker since we can just put Reprobation on it. And the more mana they pay, the more we're going to get back, basically. So, okay, well. That's sad for me, but nothing I can't overcome. So, now they're up to 5 mana over there. They would get to 6. So the highest they can get him is still level 7. So that matters. Yeah, I mean, we don't have any great attackers right this second. Now, I mean, I guess they have to double block to kill my Quakefoot. I guess that matters. And then we'd have to double block with these two. So I think we attack with Quakefoot Cyclops here. And then play Imposter of the 6th Pride. Yeah. What? Why did they do that? Oh, Lava Dart. That works for me too. Oh. They should have done it. Yeah, they should. Okay, there they go. Yeah. Never mind, it doesn't work for me. I was thinking I would get to kill them. God, I'm stupid. Okay. Well, in that case, we're in trouble now. Because we played into that. First strike is going to get us here. We need some serious gas. Reprobation would be good. I mean, not Reprobation. Lots of things would be good. Reprobation will be decent enough here. Ooh, that's not so good. That works for me, though. I like that they didn't attack me. So... they've set up some scary stuff this... I don't know why they didn't attack last turn. Like, I have no good blocks for Lancer Sliver. I'm getting to the point where it's like, God, I think I have to put Reprobation on, like, one of these slivers to not die instead of on Hex Drinker. Which is bad, because that means Hex Drinker can get out of hand in a hurry. I definitely should have used Reprobation before I attacked with my Cyclops earlier. That's for sure. Alright, so... man. Alright, we're going to put it on the Hex Drinker. I still think that's the best move. We have to kind of hope it doesn't have protection from everything. And if we have a couple more draw steps like this, it's going to gain that protection. So, yeah. Ooh, nasty. Yeah, I think we have to draw Winds of Abandon or lose, basically. Except they're not being nearly as aggressive as I would expect, which does give us more of a chance. Okay. Don't hate that right now when we kind of desperately need... extra blockers. It's a nice mana sink here. Double Tempered Sliver. That's not good news. We just got to take this, I think. Well, might as well chump block, honestly, because if they're only coming at me with one creature at a time and I have all this mana... So we can actually do both things here. So 5, 8, yeah, so... Oh, no, we can't. Now, interestingly, if I go with the Trustworthy Scout plan, it does let me thin out my library and increase the chances of drawing our Winds of Abandon, but obviously I can still use this. And I might as well now. It's not like I can bluff. I don't have anything in my hand after all. Thank you for the follow, Decano TR. Interesting. Let's see what happens. Lancer Sliver. They have double strike now. Just kidding. That's not how that works. Okay, Winds of Abandon. All right, I think we take this hit, which means it's going to become a 6/6. The annoying thing right now about Winds of Abandon is actually that their Fountain of Ecor would survive, but I think I'll have a pretty good board position. So... shouldn't be as bad as it looks. Our scouts are just trying to buy us time at this point. I guess. Ooh. That's not a good combination. Alright, so we basically have to block ourselves into oblivion here. Because... yeah, I mean, we don't really have a choice, I don't think. You'll block there. You'll block here. You'll block there. Yeah, all our stuff dies. We'll hold on to our War Veteran here. Or Veteran. It's not a War... I guess War Veteran is redundant. Because, you know... Alright, no Winds of Abandon. Oh, we could have searched our library for a Trustworthy Scout. But we did not. Alright, so... Hello, Decano TR. Well, I don't have great advice. I mean, unless you're talking about Modern Horizons Limited, in which case I can talk about it. If you're talking about Modern Constructed, I don't have as much experience. I don't play much Constructed. Yeah. Okay. So... yeah, I would like to play first. I think this is a keeper. A bunch of 2-mana things. We can suspend a turn 1 Knight of Old Benalia, which I think is really great. So we'll suspend this. Yeah, Modern's a cool format. I mean, there is... It is more expensive on average than Standard. There are some more budget decks out there, but most of them aren't as... they're basically just not as good as the more expensive ones. Which of these do I want to play? Sliver? Scout? Sliver? I think Scout. Because it's more annoying for them removal-wise, like if they try to kill our Scout. They've got a slow start this time, which could bode quite well for us. All right, so we play Splicer's Skill now. Yeah, drafting is pretty good in this format so far. Okay. Wouldn't mind a land here. Yeah. How many suspend counters are left? 2. So we can actually play Veteran this turn and then both of these next turn, and that's probably enough to win us the game unless something crazy happens here. They may kill a Trustworthy Scout here. Yeah, they feel like they have to trade. Works for me. So, I mean, like, you know, to start with in Modern, you probably want to pick up the Shock lands. You probably want to pick up fetch lands. Those are things that are pretty key for a wide variety of decks. So that's a piece of advice I could give you. Tap target creature and opponent controls. Get in for 6. What if they secretly have a Winds of Abandon? They are so dead. This game, we just got to curve out aggro, and, like, you know, this dude coming into play next turn is just going to break them. Barring... Okay, that's not... Yeah. That's not going to bother us. Yeah. All right, we got there. Well, I mean, I feel like if you can suspend a turn 1 Knight of Old Benalia and then just curve out, you just win, like... It's hard to overcome that for sure. I feel like every time we manage to win a game without playing any bombs, that I'm in pretty good shape. You missed the first couple matches in the first game of this... actually, this is... We missed the first 2 games of this match, Bitterblade. We are 1-1 in the draft and 1-1 also in this match. And we drafted a red-white aggro deck, basically, that has some late-game power, too, because we got some bombs like Winds of Abandon and Sarah. I think getting Winds of Abandon, I mean, it's good against everybody, but against them... As long as we can survive late, I think Winds of Abandon just breaks the game for them. It's hard to imagine them finding a way to come back. All right, so... Yeah, they got off to a better start this time. That's for sure. Okay, so... I think now we go with Splicer's Skill. Do I offer up trades here? I kind of think I do. I should have just attacked first, but... Imagine they just take 2. So we're still a few turns away from Winds of Abandon. We still need to draw 1 more land, too. All right, well, I think we try to get this trade. Maybe our golem gets lava darted now or something, but... Nice. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, so I think we attack here and then play Rock's Veteran. Cycling. they have something that can survive our Winds of Abandon. Man, another Hex Drinker? What's that about? The good news is, Hex Drinker can't actually survive this being overloaded, which we could do as early as next turn, by the way. Okay, so I think we play Scout and Sliver here. Actually, I guess we can attack here with our Veteran, and I think we might as well. We could just attack with both. And then play Sliver and Scout. Yeah, that seems okay. I really need to hit a land, but, you know, we will. Ain't no problem. Oh, wait a second. Vengeful Devil can be a problem. But I think that's okay. So we get to Battle Cry, and then I think we tap down Bogard and Dragonheart, because it can get big. It can get big, so... Might just be better to play Scout and Martyr's Soul, actually. So we get in for 5. Yeah, let's play the Soul here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it gets protection from instants now. I think this is going to be a game that comes down to whether or not we manage to draw. I can also, if I have to, I can use Winds of Abandon on this, and that might just be enough to win us the game if we don't hit a land here. If we don't hit a land here, I think it probably is. Yeah, I think we go for it. Waiting another turn's tempting, but we're really far ahead already. You know... Yeah, we kind of have to do it, I think. Why didn't I draw my 6th land? Okay, we're still in good shape, though. I mean, yeah. So I think we have to go Winds of Abandon on Hex Drinker. Attack with everything. Tap down the Hellkite. Pump everyone. Yep, that's game. All right, 2 and 1. That was pretty good. Sad we never got to draw a Giver of Runes, but we did get our other 2 really good cards. Sarah, you know, she wasn't as impressive as we would have liked just because she was always in a vulnerable situation, but she made an Angel both times, and that helped both times. And obviously, Winds of Abandon was great. You know, we used it as spot removal once and as the, you know, as board sweeper once.